Hello everyone, it's Safrina from Feng Shui and Prosper. I got a question, a message was sent to my Facebook page with regards to L-shaped layouts. So I believe it was Shundata that sent me that message, and I'm using this video to actually answer you, okay? So his question was, how do you feng shui a space when you have an L-shaped layout? Now, it is more preferable to have a layout that's either square shape or rectangular shape. Any other awkward layouts would definitely detract in terms of the feng shui-ness of the space. But if you are currently in a weird shaped layout, then obviously make the most of it, right? I do a lot of condo consultations here in Toronto, and it's like shoe boxes, and the layouts are really weird. Some of them are U-shaped, or, you know, L-shape is considered good. U-shaped, triangular shapes, those are, you know, even more challenging. So hey, you guys, I see people joining me here live, as well as those who are watching me on replay. Feel free to comment below this video so I will know if you have any further questions on this. So if you are currently in an L-shaped layout, what do you do? So I have my trusty board here. Where's my black one? Here. So if you have, let's say like this, right? If this is your layout, now the best way to do it, again, it really depends on the layout itself, but you can actually divide it into two. So here you see one square, and then here's like a rectangular. So you can, as an option, feng shui both of these separately, okay? So so let's say, so this is the center, this is the center. Let's say this is north, right? South, east, west, northwest, northeast, southeast. Hopefully you guys can see this, southwest. So if you look at the L-shaped layout on its own, this is kind of missing part of the north, all of the northeast, and, you know, potentially the east as well, again, depending on the layout. But if you divide it into two separate sections, then this would become the north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast, right? And same with this one. This becomes north, south, east, west, northwest here, northeast here, southeast here, and southwest here. Okay, so that is one way of doing it, but obviously this is a simplistic way of answering that questions without knowing more detail about the layout. Sometimes the layout itself might dictate how we divide this layout. For instance, again, I really should have printed like an L-shaped layout just to give you guys an idea, but this is very impromptu. For instance, depending on what rooms occupy these areas, the L shape might actually end up being divided this way, right? So this is north, south, east, west, and so on and so forth, and this is and then this would make north, south, east, west here. North, south, east, west. You guys get the idea? Again, it really depends on the layout itself, but look at your layout and see what makes more sense, whether or not to divide it this way, like one box here and one box here, or a longer box here and then like a smaller box there. And so you guys know me, I like to give more specific answers, but I can't until I have more specific information. So for those of you, you may or may not already see this either in your email or in my Facebook page posts. For those of you who have purchased my Feng Shui 2016 webinar, you do have the opportunity to ask me feng shui questions specific to your layout. So for instance, if you have an L-shaped layout and after you watch this, you want to confirm how you're supposed to divide and then feng shui your L-shaped layout, then because you have purchased my Feng Shui 2016 webinar, then you can join my members only or clients only monthly webinars that I will be holding, where I look at your actual layout, where you give me your compass reading and you give me your period, your period and the compass reading and your layout. You can email that to me prior to our webinar, and then I can go over the placements with you. If you can join me live so you can listen to your questions, that's even better. If you can't join me live, but you want to send in the question anyway, you can do that, and then the replays will be sent out to those who register for it. So that is only open to those who have purchased my Feng Shui 2016 webinar. If you have, you would have gotten an email in your inbox about how you can join me for my monthly Q&A call. Now the monthly Q&A call, it is not free, but it's only $28. It's because I want to keep the number small for these monthly Q&A calls so I can actually go through as many layouts as possible. And that if you can't afford a one-on-one consultation with me, because like my 1 hour video consultation is $488 US. So the monthly Q&A is perfect if you have only a small question that you want me to answer for you. So $28 is your only investment that you need to do, and you get absolutely the best answer for your layout, not just any vague generalized answer. Okay, so again, what to do if you have an L-shaped layout is you, depending on the layout itself, but generally you can actually divide it into two squares or rectangles, right? And then you do your feng shui placements that way. Again, it's not the best to have to do it this way, to have an irregular shaped place. It is not the best, especially if you're missing the northwest corner, and if there is a patriarch or a father or a grandfather there and living in that household with you, then that layout that is missing the northwest corner will make it challenging for the male head of the house. Okay, because the northwest, again, is the palace of the patriarch, and in feng shui, a space that is missing the northwest is like a dragon missing a head, right? So for any layout, actually, I personally would say do not miss the northwest corner if you have a male head of the household. If not, then that's fine. Like, let's say if your husband or your father has already passed away and all that's left in the household are just your siblings and your mom, then missing the northwest is not as big of a deal, right? Missing the southwest as well, that's the maternal corner. So that is the palace of the mother. So missing corners, oh, another top tip, above and beyond this L-shaped thing. So for instance, this layout is missing a little bit of the north, it's missing the northeast, and it's potentially missing the east as well, right? It's not that big of a deal if you look at the flying star chart, and if your most afflicted corners are actually in this area, missing it is actually not too big of a deal. Okay? It is a sad thing, however, if your money corners happen to be in this area. Like, you have 3 money corners, right? If one of your stronger money corner, the number 8, if let's say if it's in the east and you're missing that corner, then that's a little bit of a sad thing, but you can always activate your other 2 money corners elsewhere. Hopefully you have the other 2 falling within this L-shaped layout. So that's my feng shui tip for today. I'm really grateful for Shundata, I believe. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. But thank you so much for your question. And for the rest of you guys, if you have generalized questions, feel free to inbox me or even comment below this video, and I'll try to get to it with a video answer. But just understand that I cannot do specific answering on in this format because I really need more information on your home.